Right, let's have a look at something called Macaulay's duration. And all the duration is how long in years does something take to be repaid? Now, this could be a loan, which I'm going to look at now. Could also just be a project, an NPV of a project. How long does it take to be repaid? And we're looking at the weighted average, and that will make sense in a minute. Okay, so have a look at this single repayment loan where you just make one repayment. So in year one, we pay back nothing. In year two, we repay back nothing. In year three, we repay back nothing. And we make a single repayment. We repay it all in year four at the end. Something that we call an interest-free loan or a zero coupon loan. But it should be obvious then that, look, whether it's weighted average or not, when do we pay this back? How long does it take to pay this back? The duration is 4 years. Now, what about this though? What about if I change the numbers slightly? And I said, yeah, but this same £100 on this loan or on this project, £10 gets repaid back in year one, £10 gets repaid back in year two, £10 gets repaid back in year three, and then the remaining 70 gets repaid back in year four. Can you see that it's being repaid a little bit earlier on average, okay, rather than it all being in year four? It's been repaid back a little bit early on average. Now remember, this could be an NPV or it could be a loan, all right? So just bear that in mind. So the duration's got to be less than 4 years. And all Macaulay's duration formula does is, well, show me this as a number then. How much less than 4 years? So the way we do it is we say, well, in year one, we're ignoring the time value of money here, really important. In the exam, we don't, and we'll do that in a second. But in year one, we repaid back 10 out of the 100, didn't we? In year two, we paid back 10 out of the 100. Same in year three. And in year four, we paid back 70 out of the 100. So now we're going to we're going to say, right, that's 10%, 10%, 10%, and 70%. But now we're going to have a look at the weighted average. We're going to weight it up to the number of years. So times that 0.1 by 1, okay, because it's year one. That 0.1 by 2, because it's 2 years. That 0.1 by 3, because it's 3 years. And that 0.7 times by 4, because it's 4 years. So we're weighting it up by the time of the years. And if you add all of those together, the duration is 3.4 years. We knew it was less than 4, because we knew we were paying back some early, or we were being paid back early if it was an NPV. And just to put a number on it, it's 3.4 years. Now, let's keep going then. I said you shouldn't ignore the time value of money really in the exam. So you'll use a discount rate, often termed the gross redemption yield, but could be anything, okay? Could be the cost of capital as well. So all we're going to do is we don't just ignore the time value of money. So I've got to get those to their present value. So let's say the discount rate was 10%. To get to the present value, divide year ones by 1.10, the discount rate to the power of 1, because it's 1 year. Year 2, divide by 1.10 to the power of 2, because it's 2 years. To the power of 3, because it's 3 years. To the power of 4, because it's 4 years. And you're done. So with rounding then, that's more or less 9. With rounding, that's more or less 8. With rounding, that's more or less 7. With rounding, that's more or less 48, okay? In the exam, I'd probably do it to a couple of decimal places or maybe 1. But I'm just showing you this just to make it easy. And obviously, you can do all this on a spreadsheet as well. So using present values then, we're actually at £72. Now, 9 of that £72 was paid back in year 1. 8 of that 72 was paid back in year 2. Using present values, you've got that, okay? But then we need to do weighted average. We need to weigh that up by the number of years. So it's 9 over 72 times by 1 number of years. So 0.12 with a bit of rounding. 8 of the 72 paid back in year 2 times by 2 for the number of years. 7 over 72 times by 3 for the number of years, weighting it by the number of years. 48 over 72 times by 4, number of years. And now you've got the duration. So the duration is actually 3.3 by adding all of those together. Okay, so let's recap everything. How did we do it? We took the present value of the payments using the gross redemption yield or the discount factor. We then took that present value of each individual year and divided it by the total present value. Then we did some weighting up, timesing those figures by the number of years. So if it was in year 2, you'd times it by 2. If it was in year 3, you'd times it by year 3. And then we added them all together and you get the duration in years.